Good evening, everyone, and as always, thank you so much for tuning in and spending a little time with us. We're midweek already on the downhill side of the 11th day of the month, and weather-wise, we're faring a little better than what's expected. Two significant, what was major, now significant rainfall events this week. One we've already endured that fizzled out just a bit. We picked up just a little under 1.5 inches of rainfall earlier in the week here at the newsroom, and we were looking on to another big event. Well, there is some good news in that front, or in that arena, and that is the fact that while temperatures are remaining steady in the 50s, lower 60s on at least one occasion, a diminished flood potential is in the forecast for the next several days through this weekend. So we've got one more period of rainfall expected from tomorrow morning through Saturday. The ground, of course, still very well saturated, but most of this rainfall is going to occur in the northern portions of eastern Kentucky. Up to 2 inches expected for some of those folks, with 1 inch or less in the southeast. That's due to the main axis of the forecasted heavy rainfall shifting to the northwest. It's expected to rain over a long duration, and it's going to result in a lower threat of flooding. I'm glad to report ponding of water and flooded low crossing and low water bridges could be a possibility, but it looks to be a better scenario than 24 and certainly 48 hours ago. I'll update your forecast in more detail in just a few moments. Our top headlines in just a few moments as well. Before that, I have got several press releases from all over that I'll talk about in just a second. But before that even, a death investigation underway in Magoffin County. Now, it happened earlier this afternoon. I was here beginning to do the show, and it's on one of those occasions where I'm home alone in the studio literally today and unable to leave. But I have confirmed that local authorities and the Kentucky State Police have responded to a body discovered in the area of Donnie Hall Road. Now, it's my understanding that, and this is unofficial at this time, but someone discovered a male possibly dead due to a gunshot wound. The entire situation was being handled by the Kentucky State Police, and that investigation was being conducted as a crime scene. However, it's also not being ruled out that it may have been a self-inflicted gunshot wound situation. It is still totally preliminary. We know that even if you're watching the early show at 6 o'clock, Kentucky State Police, the Magoffin County Coroner, Mark Jenkins, the rescue squad, and other first responders are on scene assisting with the investigation efforts. But I can confirm a death investigation at this time. One male found in the Donnie Hall Road area of Magoffin County on a trail back behind that road. The situation treated as a crime scene, but an investigation nonetheless, and we'll have an update for you on tomorrow's program. Well, I learned something today, and for maybe some cattle producers out there, it's going to excite you. A livestock indemnity program with benefits available to Floyd Johnson, Magoffin Martin, Morgan Pike, and Wolfe County producers. The West Liberty Service Center, USDA Farm Service Agency Executive Director Barry Allen today forwarded me the following information, announcing that cattle producers who suffered qualifying livestock losses due to the natural disasters, including attacks by animals or avian predators, could be eligible for the Livestock Indemnity Program. And along with other livestock disaster assistance programs, this LIP was restored by the passage of the 2014 Farm Bill, which provides livestock producers with a vital safety net to help them overcome the damaging financial impact of natural disasters, including this real long and severe cold spell that we're just now coming out of. It's my understanding that, too, is included in the program. Beginning in 2015 and subsequent years, producers are required to provide documentation to substantiate eligible attacks by animals or of avian predators, and it must be obtained from a source such as, but not limited to, APHIS or the Department of Natural Resources. Producers must also take and make every effort to substantiate losses, and if they are not able to obtain documentation from those organizations, provide some other verifiable documentation. It compensates livestock owners and contract growers for livestock death losses in excess of normal mortality due to an eligible adverse weather event, including losses due to hurricanes, floods, blizzards, disease, wildfires, extreme heat, and the aforementioned extreme cold. For the current year, calendar year, eligible losses must have occurred on or after January the 1st, 2015. It's my understanding a notice of loss must be filed with the FSA within 30 days of when the loss of livestock was apparent. Allen says that livestock that die within 60 days of the date of the qualifying event will be considered eligible for loss benefits. So I've got a phone number for you. You can call the West Liberty Service Center County FSA office at 743-3410. You can also go to fsa.usda.gov, and you can also tune into the program. I hope to be sitting down with Mr. Allen or someone else soon to elaborate more on this, but with the window starting to narrow in regards to the weather event and the time frame, they wanted to get this information out to cattle producers as much and livestock producers as much as possible. And from the University of Pikeville, the U-Pike Startup Challenge is starting up, and they're calling everyone for entries. If you've got the next big idea for starting a business, attracting investors, you want to become the region's newest thought leader and innovator, entrepreneurs from all across eastern Kentucky are invited to compete in the University of Pikeville Coleman College Business Startup Challenge. They are looking to inspire and reward innovative ideas and entrepreneurial spirit with their third Appalachian Business Plan Competition, May the 9th. Awards total $10 grand, $5,000 to first place, $3,000 to second, $2,000 to third. It's held in collaboration with the Kentucky Innovation Network. The competition is open to any resident of Eastern Kentucky. The deadline for business plan submissions is April the 24th. My apologies if it's either that or cough uncontrollably. The Startup Challenge is for new independent proposed ventures in the conceptual, seed or startup changes or stages. Participants selected for the competition will be required to submit a properly formatted written business plan. If you have any questions, and too, I hope to hear some more about this. The May 9th event will be held at the Coleman College of Business and the Training Academy. Go to U-Pike's website at upikeedu.edu and find out more about their Startup Challenge. $10 grand in awards. Here in Magauffa County Solid Waste Coordinator Frankie Collick called today about the litter abatement program, the annual pickup where they are able to pay churches and schools and individuals and groups of that nature to pick up litter along roadside so carelessly and thoughtlessly and rudely tossed out by motorists who have little or no idea what they're doing or have nothing else better to do. Nevertheless, those funds have been cut by the state this year, I'm sad to say. So as they're getting ready to open up that application period, she wants me to stress that it is on a first come, first served situation or basis. So the first to call will be the first to be able to have a stretch of roadway to pick up and, of course, get some proceeds to go towards their cause or organization. They're going to start sometime around April the 20th with the cleanups. They do these 3 times a year per the state allowance. And they hope that there will be, and they expect that they will have plenty of calls, and more so than they'll have fun. So they want you to go ahead and call in now if that's something that you or your group does or are interested in doing. Call 349-2313, Magauffa County Judge's Office. And on another note, the annual Ivy Point Battle, the Civil War reenactment's coming up in April, and sometime between now and then they would like volunteers. This is not part of the litter abatement program, but they would really like to have some volunteers clean up all the debris and garbage that has already been left behind since the last cleanup on the Ivy Point Hill before all those individuals and all of us go to take in the Ivy Point reenactment. So if you would like to volunteer your services for that, same number applies, 349-2313. Headlines are next.
To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband.
Covered last night's regular session of the Johnson County Fiscal Court. Several items on the agenda. We'll pick it up with transfers from the general fund to the jail fund, which spurred the following information on behalf of Johnson County Judge Executive Tucker Daniel, saying that he had met with some representatives of a company that offers health care for facilities such as the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center in hopes of finding some savings by switching companies.
It's a similar problem for county governments across the state, having to transfer money from the general fund into the jail fund to cover a great deal of expenses for regional jails, such as the operations for Johnson and Magauffa and other participating councils. And, of course, a big amount of that budget goes to health care.
Last week with a health care consultant that is doing business with several jails throughout the state of Kentucky. I don't, probably 18 or 20 or more. looking at how to administer the health care of the various inmates that's incarcerated. It's more or less a situation where they would come in and literally take responsibility for handling all the inmates' health care needs. At the present time, there's one full-time and one part-time nurse out at the jail that are there on staff on a regular basis. And these people would have their own staff, and they would either hire the people that's already working out there, or maybe not, I'm not really sure. The administrator at the jail is pretty well convinced that there's some savings there, and he's been in touch with many other jailers at the Kentucky Jailers Conferences, and they want to look at more, he wants to look more closely, and the jail board wants to look more closely at how the program's working at other places. I asked him for a listing of all the jails that they do business with, and there's a long list of them. I don't have those with me. I'll get those to you. It'll be a decision, I think, that their board will have to make first, and then also recommend to various fiscal courts to, if we want to participate or not, since we're the one that ultimately is responsible for the bills. But it may be something that's good for the community, for the jails that's involved out here at the Regional Detention Center. It may not. I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but I've asked them for some other stuff, and they gave me one. They had one copy of a kind of a notebook, and I'm trying to get copies for you guys to look at. So I'll try to hopefully have that for next month, and we'll try to discuss it again next month.
Also discussed was approval of the fourth quarter clerk's report. Court Clerk Sally Conley Holbrook reported that total revenue for her office was $5,904,703 for the fourth quarter of the fiscal year, while total expenditures were exactly the same. She also presented a check to the Johnson County Fiscal Court for excess fees, which will go substantially to help offset some other financial situations facing the Johnson County Fiscal Court, those that Judge Daniel enlightened the court and audience on last time as it pertains to the gasoline tax, which was also discussed later on in last night's meeting.
Sally, would you want to go through that for us? You've done an excellent job, and I want to commend you again on how you're running your office. I know it's not easy. You're suffering the same as we are from revenues being down a little bit, and you've tried to offset a lot of your costs by trying to streamline your workforce down there, and I thank you for that.
I'm pleased to be able to present the court today with a check for $107,398.53. I know that the financial status of the county, we're all pinching pennies trying to do the best we can, and I'm pleased that we're able to give this to the court, and I know they'll be used for roads and senior citizens and fire departments, things that everybody can get some benefit from. And my staff and I, we work really hard to try to ensure that we give the customers the best service we can. And we try to do it, we try to keep our staff. We don't want to hire anybody else right now because we're trying to keep the costs down. And I know the physical court's going through the same thing. We're trying to make sure that we pinch our pennies and give service to everybody in the county.
Following the check presentation, the Thelma Fire Department received Homeland Security grant funds for rescue equipment in the amount of $16,593.50, much needed and much deserved equipment. And from there was discussion about the county road departments, the budget depending on the county road aid, and that depending on the gas tax, and the fact that Johnson, McGoffin, and other counties are already seeing substantial losses in that area, and it's left local government leaders scrambling to try to find a stopgap and a fix.
Go down, and that motor fuels follows, then there's going to be substantial, and I mean substantial, costs to road departments. I have letters here from the Secretary of the Cabinet, Mike Hancock, to Representative Hubert Collins and Senator Brandon Smith, imploring them to do something to try to stabilize the motor fuels at the level it's at right now, so it doesn't absolutely bankrupt county governments. We've already lost Johnson County from our county road aid agreement has already lost $81,380 under this current reduction of 4.3 cents, I think. If the legislature does not act in the next few days, they've got to pass legislation in Frankfurt. This formula is going to drop another 5.3 cents, I think, per gallon, which means that for 2016 budget, beginning July 1, Johnson County's road budget will fall $280,000. Now that's approximately 35 or close to 40% loss in revenue for our road department. That's almost going to bankrupt our road department. For instance, if they take no action, Johnson County road aid is going to be hit $280,213. City municipal road aid is going to lose $35,243. And rural secondary roads, which is state roads in Johnson County, categorized as rural secondary, they're going to lose $310,000. So Johnson County will take a $625,814 hit at the current levels that we're at right now. And this can be devastating and will be devastating to us. There's not much you can do. We're sitting here at the mercy of the legislature, and we still have, unfortunately, remind me of a bunch of kids down there out in the schoolyard trying to get ahead of each other. Well, you know, I'm bigger than you are, or you did, I can do this better than you. No, you can't. Yes, you can. No.
Daniel continued to describe the situation in Frankfurt as being largely dependent on those legislators, which he says are coming to a disagreement or unable to come to an agreement on the situation. He further elaborated on the financial situation of Johnson County, saying that they did have a road employee which retired. They didn't fill that vacancy. The deputy judge retired in the past couple of weeks. They also did not fill that vacancy, and that they are trying to continue to make the best economic decisions they can as a county. He also addressed a request from Johnson County Sheriff Dwayne Price's office for matching funds for some USDA grant funds or monies to purchase 2 new cruisers. He said at this time, given the current situation, there was just simply no way. However, he did allow for the Sheriff's Department to come up with the funds in another manner, and that the Johnson County Fiscal Court would still act as the pass-through if they could raise the funds in another manner to purchase those cruisers with those USDA funds and some matching funds that they may be able to get from some other arena. Turning to tonight's McGoffin County Farm Bureau community calendar announcements, I got a birthday wish to begin, and it goes out to Betty Bauer of Royalton from a whole lot of friends and a whole lot of family. It's her birthday. Happy birthday to you, Betty. And birthday wishes tonight to Joyce LeMaster, 77 today, with a lot of love from your family and friends. Happy birthday to you, Joyce. Happy 77th, Joyce Hoskins LeMaster. A reminder from your local extension office that 4-H camp is June the 16th through the 20th, and there are scholarships and payment plans available if you need them. If you want to go to camp, call 349-3216. The Kentucky Tree Recovery Campaign is something we'll talk to you about tomorrow with some representatives of the Extension Office. The Rain or Shine event, where you need to bring a shovel with you, is this Saturday, 10 to 2 at the Extension Service. It's an effort to help repopulate the tree population in counties hit so hard during the March 2nd, 2012 tornado. We'll tell you more tomorrow. Family Movie Night at Kearney Free Will Baptist is this Saturday at 6. They're showing Fireproof. It's free, of course, and this is your special invitation to join them for Family Movie Night at Kearney Free Will Baptist this Saturday at 6. And moving on down the line, a household shower to be held in honor of Steve and Tanika Reisner. We spoke about them on a couple of occasions this week. They lost everything they own, with the exception of the clothes on their back. It's a household shower set for this Sunday at 2 at the Sigersville Fire Department. Of course, they also have a brand new 3-month-old little baby boy, and your help and support would be greatly appreciated. A local fireman and his wife and family who lost everything in a structure fire days ago. And the 8th annual, I believe it is, 5K run, 1K walk, this time with a superheroes theme to support Judy's Place in Pikeville. Is going to be Saturday the 11th in the Expo Center. You can register by going to judysplace.org or calling 437-7447. And Magafa County Youth Baseball and Softball sign-ups. Another round, and one of the last few, as they're starting to wind down, I'm sure, are going to be held this Sunday, 2:30 to 4:30 at the Sagersville Subway. Got it right, Matt Wireman. Which is not always a certainty. He knows what I'm talking about. If you've got a calendar announcement, birthday, anniversary, or otherwise, send it to us. It's free. We'll tell everyone about it. A reminder about services to be held in the morning at 11 in honor of Buster Blanton, Ed Mason Blanton, 81 of Falcon, who passed away on Monday, survived by his wife Pansy Conley Blanton, sons Michael and John, and daughter Sharon Blanton Howard. Visitation will continue this evening and up until services. Once again, they start tomorrow morning at 11. Services will be at the State Road Fork United Baptist Church, while the Magafa County Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. Burial will be at the Elsie Conley Cemetery at Falcon. Masonic rites will be held in Buster's honor this evening at 7 at the funeral home. And 73-year-old Betty Lou Howard Carpenter of East Maple Street, who passed away this week, is going to be laid to rest on Tuesday the 17th at 2 p.m. Survived by her husband Morgan G. Carpenter II, daughters Melissa Price, brothers Carter Howard and Rick Howard, and then sisters Janine Howard Salyer, Carol B. Howard, Helen Jo Hancock, Judy Holbrook, Frances Crace, and Della Howard. Services once again Tuesday the 17th at 2 from the Magafa County Funeral Home. Burial is going to be at the Bluegrass Cemetery. And Sam Smith, actually those were to be announced. I've just received information that says funeral services for Sam Smith will be held Saturday at 2 at the New Bethel Assembly of God. I'll have more on that tomorrow, but his funeral arrangements just coming in just before airtime for 77-year-old Arthur Sam Smith Jr. And we understand that 45-year-old Glenn Cantrell of Sagersville has passed away. Arrangements are still being made by the family and to be announced soon by the Magafa County Funeral Home. Spend less time waiting or in line for your prescriptions or refills and get the care you need with the quality and convenience that matters most at Parkway Pharmacy, your exclusive provider of the finest in vitamins and supplements by Windmill Vitamins. Come in or drive through 8:30 till 6:30 Monday through Friday or call Parkway Pharmacy 349-4400. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. Well, I've managed to run out of time. More news than time. It's a good problem to have, mind you. Can drive you a bit crazy in this business. Means I have a full show for tomorrow and then some. So let me wrap it up real quick with your Licking Valley RECC forecast, which is not as you see it. I've got an update for you. Tonight, partly cloudy and a low of around 40. The sun came out, the clouds cleared, made for a rather nice evening. I'll try to get home and catch maybe a half hour of it or so before dark sets in. I did see 65 degrees today here at the newsroom, starting off at 54. Beautiful. So 61 on your Thursday, and I have got mostly sunny skies instead of clouds tomorrow, as we've seen the clouds already part. Glad to have it in the forecast. Glad to see it tomorrow. Temperatures right around the 60-degree mark. Mostly sunny tomorrow. Showers are likely tomorrow night after 4 a.m., and that will set us up for showers Friday, and then Friday night, and then Saturday, maybe even into Saturday evening. As of right now, rainfall totals are ebbing just a bit. That's good news. Flooding, not quite an issue. I hope to have an improving forecast for you tomorrow when we see you back here for the next edition of Your News Today. For now, good night and thanks for watching.